So here we are back to the boiler. Um, this boiler was put in, I believe, in 1981. And as you can see here, it's a 664,000 BTU rated boiler, which only serves our 1929 edition. It does a very good job of heating. It's just kind of temperamental as far as once you get it heated up, if you don't turn it off soon enough in the day, it will roast the kids out in the afternoon and the teachers, because the latent heat still in the water leaks, seeps out into the classroom and continues to heat the rest of the day. We have these 4 water softeners. Moving on, we've got the 4 water softeners here. One maintenance issue, you can see this one right here isn't working properly. For some reason, there's some corrosion or something that's going on that stopped this one, but our hard water really requires us to have this, or else we're going to have some bigger maintenance issues down the road. So this is one of those areas that we have really looked at trying to address, and this is the floor, the old concrete floor in the 1929 edition. If you kind of look closely, you'll notice a lot of little pock marks and these edges here. It's just been painted with epoxy paint so many times that it's no longer, it just looks gross and outdated, and it's chipping badly and needs to be replaced. The bid for this was $13,700. You can see the big crack there and the stairs going up the stairs here. I'm sure that once you were to dig in, you'd probably find some lead-based paint under some of that at some point in time. I'm sure that was used. So here we are back at the looking at the top of the grade school. We just came from this 1929 building. Looking at all of our facilities, you notice that this drainage area here drains some of these big areas around the side of the school. This whole roof area drains out from here. This is that bad drainage area along here that we have. You can see this whole roof section, part of it drains down into this area, and this area drains down into here too, and you just have perfect storm of wastewater, drainage water. So then we have this flows down into this little creek over here on the far end. It's not great, but it's what we've got right now. So this kind of gives you a little bit closer view of the school and the grounds. So talking about transportation, what we have is the front of the school is over on this side, and then the buses, we have 8 buses that line up on this drive right here, and this is a one-way street, so you can't get once the buses line up, there's no one that can go up the opposite way. So we've got 8 buses, and we have 2 spares that usually line up back here as well for extras that we have. Then we've got this driveway, which is for cars. So the buses, once they leave, they will follow this road and either head back out to the east or to the west and onto Manhattan, or back to the north end of town. So the parents will come across the cross street and come down here through the car loop and pick up students and then pull back out over here. So that's one area that we're hoping to address, is maybe to have this as a bus loop in the future. This was the car loop right now. We're hoping to bring everybody inside at some point and put a car loop here. We're needing to get 5 or 6 more classrooms, and a cost of $100,000 on average per classroom. But finding space in this area probably end up being here or on the back side here. to where we're gonna put those classrooms. We also converted this. The district purchased this lot right here, tore down the houses, and put gravel in it so that we could have more parking spaces because we didn't have enough using this lot and all of the spaces along the street. So that's one of the other additions that we've had to do. Talking about what our capacity and how do we fix these issues. Here are the election forms, the bond election results. We've had 2 bonds in the last 5 years that the school district has tried to get passed. You can see that we had 2,700 registered voters, and we had 1,100 people turn out to vote. 42% turned out, and it was almost 2-to-1 for the number of no's compared to the number of yeses. So this was an $11 million bond. The first one in 2013 was 11.8, and then last year we went for another bond. This was $22.4 million. We had greater voter turnout this time than we did the previous time, but still our same. We were still almost beat, almost 2-to-1 on the bond issue. So we have some more. We've got to get the community headed. We need to find out and doing like an OHI and figure out what will the community support, because what our idea has been over the last 2 bond has failed. So that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to look at. How do we get all of these other all of the deferred maintenance caught up that we've put off over the last 5 to 10 years. When I took over the custodial and the facilities and maintenance 3 years ago, this was my first attempt at how do we get janitor coverage for all the areas. So we had a map, broke it up into each of the different areas, and each person had different responsibilities based upon when they were working and what they were doing. So now the janitorial schedule looks a little bit different. My custodian schedule now resembles this. So you can see at night, during the day, I have a day schedule and a night schedule, and my janitors, they have certain jobs that they're doing. We're looking at what all we can get done, and the janitors sign off on each of the different jobs that they complete in a night. And if they don't sign off on it, then it doesn't count to work that they've done. If they sign someone else's work, that doesn't count for them. So that was one thing that we've gone to try to increase efficiency. I've done some janitorial surveys on Google Forms, put up this survey, which I kind of took from Purozone, about how do we, and sent this out to the teachers and looking at how do we improve what we're doing here at the grade school. So those are some things. This is a facilities needs report that I completed for our new superintendent at the beginning of this year. Kind of gives you an idea of things that we wanted to have done. How can we increase efficiency? Switching to LED lights. One of the things that we would need to do in the next 2 to 3 years is put in a $400,000 air conditioning unit on the roof in one part of the school. And this is, to finish it up, this was my summer priority list from last summer. Right here, kind of gives you an idea of bids that we had taken and things that we wanted to get done. And we were hoping to spend $59,000. It didn't all get done, but it was a good start. So I want to thank you very much for a great semester and all the support.